yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
I don't judge, and the old timers didn't either, fighters chronologically as much as I do by the amount of fights they've had and the amount of punches they've taken. I judge them that way.
Because he definitely had the skill of a top five, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody.
After Terence Crawford shocked the boxing world with a majority decision victory over Canelo Alvarez to claim the undisputed super middleweight title, many analysts started questioning whether he could beat Floyd Mayweather at his peak. While fans celebrated the win, they also appreciated the manner in which he achieved it. Crawford dictated the pace from a distance, smoothly switched stances, remained calm under pressure, and blended intelligent strategy with precise and relentless execution.
Crawford outboxed Canelo, made Canelo miss, stood right in front of him when he was supposed to. He moved when he was supposed to. Made it look easy. He beat Canelo Alvarez better than Floyd Money Mayweather, which makes him better than Floyd Money Mayweather, in my opinion.
Some analysts, including Bob Arum, have even argued that Terence Crawford's ability to fight effectively with both hands and his all-around skill set make him one of the few fighters who could seriously test, or even potentially beat, Floyd Mayweather at the height of his career.
Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner.
What fight
Why
would
do you
make
feel
the most?
he wipes the floor with him?
Why?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
Do you think the welterweight Boots Ennis would stand a chance against Crawford? Or
I have no idea, but I know that Boots Ennis is a tremendous fighter and a great talent. Whether he'd stand a chance with Crawford, I don't really know, because at 147, Crawford is, I think, unbeatable.
Canelo Alvarez, who has stepped into the ring with both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, added even more intensity to the debate after Crawford beat him by unanimous decision in 2025 to secure the undisputed super middleweight crown. Following the defeat, Canelo openly admitted that, in his view, Crawford is the superior fighter. He pointed to Crawford's versatility, high ring IQ, smooth stance switching, and solid defensive ability as the reasons he ranks him above Mayweather.
He say he might be better than Mayweather. I can see it, because Crawford got a little bit of Mayweather in him, but he got the offense going on. It's not like all defense, blocking everything, points, you know. Crawford can actually hurt you. He's actually a fighter. He'll fight you. You know, he'll box you, but he'll fight you too. He ain't no joke.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. built a legendary career, retiring with an unblemished record of 50 wins and no defeats, supported by elite defense and the ability to claim titles from super featherweight to light middleweight. He became famous for his slick footwork, lightning-fast hands, accurate counterpunching, and the rare ability to absorb minimal damage while controlling the tempo of every bout. Throughout his journey, he secured 15 major world titles across 5 weight classes during one of boxing's most competitive eras, consistently facing renowned champions and highly respected opponents with strong reputations.
Fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds, but nothing really was tough. I've been in a boxing gym, and guys have given me great sparring and great work. They say ass whooping will humble you. I come home and say, you got to tighten up, champ.
Yeah.
You got to get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
In a similar fashion, Terence Crawford also maintains an undefeated record. He has earned more than 18 major world titles across 5 weight classes and made history as the first male boxer to become an undisputed champion in 3 different divisions. As a switch stance fighter, he adapts seamlessly and often becomes more dangerous as he moves up in weight, improving his precision and finishing ability. He has taken down top-level opponents, including Errol Spence Jr. and most recently Canelo Alvarez.
You know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
The last question is, I know Trey, after the fight, have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me. You know, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man.
The recent showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez marked a significant chapter in boxing history. Stepping up in weight, Crawford challenged Canelo for the undefeated super middleweight titles and, after 12 intense rounds, earned a majority decision win with scores of 116-112, 115-113, and 115-113. From the opening bell, his strategy was evident as he controlled the distance with quick footwork, sharp jabs, and perfectly timed counters. He handled Canelo's power and relentless pressure without breaking down, and even after absorbing heavy shots and dealing with a cut over his right eye, he kept the same rhythm through the final round. With that victory, he became the first fighter of the modern era to secure undisputed titles in 3 weight classes, improving his record to 42 wins and 0 losses and cementing his place among boxing's all-time greats.
When I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me. You know, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man tonight.
A few weeks ago, Roy Jones Jr. stated that Terence Crawford deserves to be placed among the greatest fighters in history due to his rare skill set and adaptability, qualities often associated with Hall of Fame champions. He highlighted Crawford's ability to switch stances effortlessly, maintain solid balance, stay composed under pressure, and deliver at a high level on both offense and defense. At the same time, Jones Jr. pointed out that Crawford still needs a few more defining fights to completely secure his legacy. He believes that Crawford's recent performances, particularly against top-tier opponents, show that his talent is now fully living up to the high expectations that have surrounded him for years.
I rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud. No.
Keith Thurman praised Terence Crawford's performance, calling it a win built on strong fundamentals, ring control, and smart strategy. He explained that Crawford used his jab, footwork, angles, and careful distance management to take away Canelo Alvarez's usual power and forward pressure. Thurman had previously questioned how Crawford would cope with the extra weight, but he admitted that Bud's speed, timing, and composure ultimately made the difference. He also noted that Canelo appeared slower than expected and had trouble adjusting or asserting his usual dominance. In the end, Thurman described the performance as a masterclass in preparation and execution, while acknowledging that although Canelo remained dangerous, he was clearly outperformed in almost every area.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right. Okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe to toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people.
Fernando Vargas admitted that he had misjudged the matchup going into the fight, but Terence Crawford delivered a performance that proved him wrong. He was impressed by how disciplined Crawford remained in executing his game plan, praising his sharp technique, firm ring control, and accurate punching from start to finish. Vargas still showed respect for Canelo Alvarez, noting that the Mexican star remains a dangerous and skilled champion, but he acknowledged that Crawford was clearly the better fighter on the night. He openly admitted underestimating Crawford and expressed strong respect and admiration for the level of skill and dominance he displayed in securing such a historic victory.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right. Okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe to toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, It was a clean.
Fernando Vargas also shared deeper reflections on the matchup, pointing out that Canelo Alvarez has already gone through a long and physically demanding career with nearly 70 professional fights. Vargas suggested that when a fighter stays active at that level for many years, natural decline can begin to affect reflexes, sharpness, and overall timing. He noted that although Canelo is still one of boxing's biggest stars, the accumulation of high-level bouts may have gradually reduced some of the speed and endurance that once defined him. Vargas further added that Canelo's power no longer appears as overwhelming as it once was, and the explosive energy that marked his rise in the sport seems less dominant today.
It was going to be too much. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I ate my words up, you know what I mean? But ¿qué de esto?
¿Me gusta esta foto? Sí. Fue hace como 2 años. Eso.
Sí.
I was thinking good.
I was like, no, that's great.
I have a dream, bro. What the hell is this? I'll give you a coffee. All right, Carlos.
Excuse us.
Yeah. So, what was the goal?
What do you think happens next for both Canelo and Crawford?
I think that, man.
Got it.
Bud, I always knew that Bud was a great fighter. He can work both guards, orthodox and southpaw. Amazing talent.
Ul Bernstein emphasized one of the biggest advantages of Terence Crawford, his unpredictability in the ring. He explained that Crawford doesn't rely on a single fixed approach but constantly adapts his strategy as the fight develops. This shifting style makes it extremely difficult for opponents to figure him out, particularly someone like Canelo Alvarez, who often relies on timing and counterpunching. Without a stable rhythm to analyze, opponents can struggle to anticipate his next move. Bernstein also pointed out that Crawford's smooth transitions between orthodox and southpaw stances add another level of complexity, forcing Canelo to pause when initiating attacks and leaving openings for unexpected, sharp combinations.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He is a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer. Sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Teddy Atlas has often spoken highly of Terence Crawford, arguing that his greatness goes well beyond physical ability. He explained that Crawford stands out because of his mental toughness, sharp timing, natural instincts, ability to read opponents, and the bravery to adjust his strategy in high-pressure moments. Atlas believes Crawford possesses qualities that can't be captured by statistics, such as fight intelligence, creativity, and genuine heart. He has also praised Crawford for moving up in weight divisions without losing effectiveness and for consistently accepting major challenges without hesitation. In his view, Crawford represents a rare kind of talent with the mindset of a true champion, deserving recognition among the sport's elite.
Passes the eye test. Everyone he's been in there, he's won convincingly. I know with the Matrimore fight, people want him to win big. It was his first time stepping up in weight to 154, and it was a guy with 300 amateur fights. Only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights, with the best international fighters in the world. And he had a very deliberate style, a very distinct style, a very awkward style in its own way. So people don't look at that. They don't look at the things, obviously, that I'm looking at, being a trainer, being in the business.
Canelo Alvarez recently stated that Terence Crawford is superior to Floyd Mayweather, a comment that quickly drew a response from Floyd's uncle, Jeff Mayweather. Jeff suggested that Canelo's remarks may have been partly aimed at increasing hype ahead of a potential fight. He acknowledged Crawford's elite talent and even admitted he may be as intelligent inside the ring as Floyd, but he strongly disagreed with the idea that Crawford has surpassed Floyd's defensive mastery. He also pointed out that fighters often make bold comparisons to make their own victories look more significant when they defeat someone labeled as greater. While expressing respect for both fighters, Jeff made it clear that in his view Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record and overall legacy remain unmatched in boxing history.
Crawford, do you think he stays there at 168? Does he go down to 160 and try to get another weight class? I'll start with him first. What's his next move? He said he doesn't want to rematch with Canelo, but I think that'd be on the table. That's going to be a ton of money, obviously.
I think that the Canelo fight may be so big that it's a fight that he is going to actually probably say yes to.
I mean, he has to feel comfortable he can win again. It's not like he got lucky on a one-punch knockout. He won that fight.
Yeah, he won the fight. So, I mean, I don't see him being – there's no reason for him to be scared.
Right.
And I think that that might be the fight that he'll take out of all the offers that's out there, because now he's at 68. He don't want to go backwards and go down in weight classes and things like that.
Roy Jones Jr. suggested that Terence Crawford might even consider retirement after his major win over Canelo Alvarez. He explained that very few fighters ever achieve a victory of that magnitude, and it could be argued that Crawford has already accomplished everything expected of him. Jones praised him for moving up in weight, taking on a fighter of Canelo's level, and becoming an undisputed champion in a third division, describing it as the peak of a fighter's career. While many fans still expect Crawford to continue competing, Jones' remarks have sparked discussion among analysts and supporters about whether Bud should walk away from the sport after reaching such a historic milestone.
A very smart fight. Took the fight in the middle, let Canelo get off his steam early, came in the later rounds and just outboxed him for the very smart fight. Then stand in the middle for him, made him use the ring like Canelo doesn't like to do. He took the Erislandy Lara blueprint and used it very well. How surprised were you with Crawford's performance? Was you surprised? Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. If you look at Erislandy Lara, you notice Bud never turned right-handed the whole fight, because you knew Erislandy Lara gave him most trouble because you used the ring on him as a southpaw.
How special is Terence Crawford as a fighter? First person to be three-way undisputed.
Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound for pound ever.
Do you think, is there anything more for him now, would you say?
Nothing else left for him. That was it. He can call it a day now if he wants.
The debate between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford at their respective peaks largely depends on what qualities someone values most in a fighter. Mayweather, in his prime, was extremely difficult to hit, built around elite defensive skills, perfect timing, and complete control of distance, which helped him retire undefeated at 50-0 while winning world titles across multiple weight divisions. Crawford, on the other hand, offers a different kind of brilliance. At his best, he brings high versatility, knockout power in both hands, seamless stance switching, and the rare achievement of becoming undisputed in 3 separate weight classes, along with dominant wins over elite-level opponents.